Hey y'all.
Is President Okeg aboard Starfleet 1? Remember, this conference is vital to the future of the galaxy.
Captain Sean here. Copy that, Mr. President. Best foot forwards at all times. The crew of the Belfast has been briefed.
Captain Cargren, Klingon Empire Liaison to Anik Okeg, standing by. President, the IKS Nima is ready to escort you.
Like I said, hey y'all, it's Joshua here. I won't be saying much during this, so y'all get the world playing.
Well met. We must ensure the President's vessel, Starfleet 1, is within transporter range of the coordinates provided to us by the Defense Force, and receive clearance to beam down to Kinema. Captain Shaw will be assigned to the President upon arrival, and you shall be tasked with securing the premises. I have patched us through to the Chief of Security of the USS Belfast, Lieutenant Morale Paris of Starfleet. This officer of Sean's is a quarter Klingon of heritage, and hopefully, at least twice as much of heart.
I look forward to working together.
Morale Paris, Chief of Security of the USS Belfast, but Lieutenant will do. Nice to meet you. I get the feeling we'll make an excellent team. Ready to get to work when you are.
I hope you don't mind me checking in along the way. This meeting is delicate, and I'd like to make sure everyone is prepared.
Glad to have you with us, Mr. President. Any words of wisdom before we arrive?
Kuvah'Magh is a key location in the history of our two civilizations, and home to many important meetings.
Do not forget the conspiracy of 2293, and the cowardly assassination of Chancellor Gorkon.
Conspiracies aside, the final outcome was historic, and its gift of peace lasted for generations.
Let's hope for a similar outcome today. Your attendance is as much of a security risk as it is a show of goodwill.
Lieutenant.
It is up to the Federation to take this first critical step. We cannot allow a repeat of Sisters 3.
Sir, sensors are picking up several Gorn vessels in the area. It's an ambush.
It's okay. Starfleet 1 is under fire. One hold for long. Hang tight, Mr. President. They won't let you down.
If a fight is what they want, then the Belfast is happy to oblige.
Your whole move, Lieutenant. Focus on Starfleet 1.
Their ranks are thinning. I'm detecting fewer Gorn starships in the system, Captain.
Starfleet 1, this is the USS Belfast. What's your status? President OK, do you copy?
USS Belfast, IKS Nima. This is the President. We're all right. Just a bit shaken up.
Mr. President, we need to postpone this conference. It's much too great of a risk for you to take. Our scan should have picked up on that ambush.
Postponing this conference is not an option, Captain Sean. This ceasefire deal could be the Federation's only chance to eventually make peace with the Klingon Empire. If that involves some degree of risk, then so be it. The members of my delegation joined this mission informed and ready for the task. However, this attack does beg a question. How exactly did the Gorn hide from our sensors?
The Nima and USS Belfast do not seem to have sustained significant damage. Nothing worth recording in a battle log. These cowardly Gorn attacks were directed at Starfleet 1, and presumably the Federation President. Aside from a few minor fluctuations in deflector harmonics and a brief spike in secondary EPS flow regulators, nothing approaches critical thresholds. The President's ship will hold.
The Belfast will run a scan as well. Something does feel off. Activating long-range sensors and tachyon detection grid. Sensors are clear, sir. No threats detected, masked or otherwise.
Let's resume course before that changes.
Attacking Klingons is one thing, but the Federation? I find the circumstances of this Gorn ambush a little odd.
I agree. The Gorn should have challenged my vessel instead. Fought against one of their Klingon conquerors. Cowards.
The Gorn shouldn't have been able to close in on Starfleet 1. We need to improve our response time.
President Okeg, the Klingon Empire acknowledges the arrival of your delegation to Kuvah'Magh. Our orbital defense post received reports of a rebel strike within the system, but readings were delayed due to the Gorn's chronoton masking fields. Still, your survival in the face of this unexpected obstacle bodes well. Perhaps you are worthy allies after all. You are clear to beam down.
The Federation is honored to be received on Kuvah'Magh. I can assure you that your openness to meeting with us is not misplaced. Our delegation's security escort dealt with the Gorn attack swiftly, thanks to the combined efforts of our respective captains. We will be beaming down shortly. Captains, when you're ready.
Once you have arrived, Lieutenant Paris will brief you on security measures, but do not rely on her. She is not of the Empire. Remember this. In the face of unexpected challenge, act with resolve, but also with intelligence. Many songs have been sung of Kuvah'Magh and its triumphs, and today may be no different. I will meet you on the ground, and whatever awaits you, face it without hesitation. A member of the Klingon Empire cannot waver.
Miral, or should I say, Lieutenant Paris.
Doctor, I've missed you. You haven't aged a day.
Well, I am afraid that's how it works. But if it would put you at ease, I can add an aging subroutine to my matrix.
Not on my behalf. You're perfect, just the way you are. Are you part of the President's delegation?
That's right. As the leading expert on species 8472, President Okeg is hoping that sharing our research with the Klingons will make up for our dismissal of the Undine threat. This, and a ceasefire deal, will hopefully lead to lasting peace between our people.
The Doctor pioneered research on the Undine aboard Voyager. It was considered revolutionary, both then and now. It is a pleasure to meet you, especially after your crew's incredible performance in the Kittimer system. I will let you get on with your security tasks and prepare for the conference. Doctor?
We meet at last, face to face. Your name echoes through the Empire's ranks. They say you bow to no one, not even your commanding officer. March, that treacherous Kek got what he deserved. The day the Federation would have us believe we are surrounded by worthier allies, I wouldn't be so sure. Lieutenant Paris will brief you. Make sure she does so reliably. The task at hand is to secure the area and rule out any foul play.
It's nice to put a real face to the name. We need to secure the building. I recommend starting with the courtyard in the next room. Oh, and keep in mind, we're in a melting pot of different cultures and delegations right now, but let's try to stay focused and keep our distance.
Ah, hold it right there. Just a moment. Greetings. I am the emergency medical hologram Mark I, but you may call me Doctor. A pleasure to meet you, I am sure. If I may offer a recommendation, while I doubt you will encounter any Undine infiltrators here, you may still find my latest research quite riveting, should you wish to test it out. Here is a parameter you may use to optimize your tricorder for species 8472 biosignature detection. The science behind it is nothing short of remarkable. The settings account for polyfluidic.
I'll follow your lead.
The importance of today's conference cannot be overstated. I am grateful for your assistance in orbit. Please, pass my thanks to your crew. The Gorn attack initially appeared to be an attempt at disrupting our conference and taking out Starfleet 1. However, I believe intelligence has details that might contradict this assumption. I am hoping the Klingons will see the value in a ceasefire agreement. I'm no stranger to finding common ground with my adversaries. After I succeeded President Nanieta Bako, I offered my political opponents seats in my cabinet. As the saying goes, it takes a quadrant to raise a coalition.
Ambassador Jiro Sugihara of the Federation Diplomatic Corps. I have to admit that the Klingons were right about the Undine infiltration of the Gorn hegemony, but I don't agree with the war they waged. Diplomacy and peaceful negotiation should come first, always. Anyway, I've been told I should keep my opinions to myself, and even more so if we manage to broker peace. Always looking for trouble, Jim, even on what could be a pivotal day for our people in Glommer.
I appreciate you doing your due diligence, but my intel is classified, and you don't have clearance from Starfleet intelligence. Enjoy the conference.
Klingon intelligence interrogated Okeg's people before their arrival, with the thoroughness the Empire demands. We believe him and his delegation speak the truth, and that he is a Saurian of honor. He speaks of our late Chancellor Gorkon with reverence. Bak Kao Lu. We cannot, and will never, dismiss the threat of betrayal. But our intel suggests the Federation's hands are clean. The scent of treachery points towards the Gorn instead. Well, though no General Chang lurks among our guests today, we have identified a Klingon of interest, an ambassador by the name of Bavat. His reputation has divided our people. Some call him a schemer, others a redeemer. He is here on official duty, as the leader of House Bavat. Even so, we'll be watching him.
All right, let's start with this area.
A Klingon in a Starfleet uniform? Just bah!
Pitiful.
Scans are clear. It seems these Klingons have taken note of my appearance. I've never hidden my hybrid nature, as my godfather, the Doctor, encouraged me to be proud of this part of myself and taught me the meaning of self-worth. But truth be told, I'd rather be back on the Belfast right now. I'm Chief of Security, not a diplomat or an envoy. Still, if my being here helps prove that the Federation and the Klingons can coexist, then all of this will be worthwhile. You know the drill.
Another rebel attack in Klingon space. Reprehensible.
King Slathis does not assent to these renegade acts.
Nothing to report in this room. If the Gorn delegation is telling the truth, then the ambush we just thwarted was a rebel attack, and not a revolt instigated by the Gorn hegemony. Still, it seemed very coordinated. Tricorder, ready.
I am Ambassador Koss of the Klingon Empire. I wish to meet with the Kuvah'Magh.
The Kuvah'Magh is an ancient myth. Paris is an impostor, a traitor to her people.
Peace with the Federation. Creator vo narde krapu.
Done. We can check this room off our list. Quite a few opinions floating around today, huh? I say we speed things up and move on to the next room. Fine. You're right. You might know this already, but there's an ancient Klingon religious text that describes the Kuvah'Magh, or Savior, as a figure that will restore the Klingon Empire back to its original glory. Many Klingons believe me to be this Kuvah'Magh because of the events that occurred in the Delta Quadrant aboard Voyager. My genetic material played a part in helping a group of Klingons. I'm happy to answer any questions about that if you think it's beneficial to our mission. Leave no stone unturned.
What weight could a conference possibly hold without the attendance of Jempok? Ha!
Yedoko! Walden is here in his stead. Now is not the time for dissent.
I'm detecting... false alarm. Just some residual readings. Preparing to scan.
We're all set, my good sir.
I will hold you accountable if this fails. There can be no deviation from the plan. Nach, Lordsman.
Of course. I will not disappoint. We have an agreement after all. Let's disperse.
A Klingon ambassador with a human attendant? I don't recognize the staffer, but I believe that's Ambassador... I don't know about you, but I think I've heard enough. And I trust that our intelligence units will monitor any outliers among the attendees. I suggest we have a look at our scan results instead. My readings are off in this room. This technology doesn't match any known Federation or Klingon designs. Its components are entirely non-standard. What do you make of this data? Huh. Faint traces of Verteron particles.
Cogran, it is simple, I assure you. Undine biology is adaptive, with a morphogenic cellular structure.
I am no scientist, but I do not dispute the utility of weaponry meant to identify and eradicate the Undine.
It's unfortunate we still know so little about them, despite the doctor's research.
Ah, Mirage. Your disposition suggests that there were no polyfluidic phase variances to report.
That's correct. No Undine infiltrators, Doctor. But we did find something else. Captain Sean, Captain Cogran, we've discovered an unidentified device in the Hall of Heroes. Its origin cannot be traced and its functionalities are unknown. It doesn't appear to pose an immediate threat, but we can't be sure. Will you work on disabling the device while I transmit our findings to the rest of the team?
Kuvah'Magh! Wise proposal. The work of the Romulans, no doubt. Maybe the Gorn. This device cannot be left here unstudied.
I agree. This poses a considerable security risk. However, I'm too optimistic about the turnout at this conference to delay our diplomatic efforts any further. We need to honor our agreement with the Klingons. They will not respect any act that might be interpreted as a display of cowardice. We must stay the course. If Captain Cogran is not opposed, then I propose we beam the device to the USS Belfast for further analysis.
Setting up a containment field, and done. Ready for transport. USS Belfast, this is Lieutenant Paris. We are beaming up an unidentifiable device for analysis. Stand by.
The conference will begin shortly. All attendees must gather in the Hall of Heroes immediately.
Fellow delegations, the Federation is here today to seek peace with the Empire, in the hopes that it will be long-lasting. We believe we have been at odds for too long, and hope to prove today that our worth as allies is greater than our worth as foes. As a first act, we propose a ceasefire, then allying against a common enemy, the Undine. I have with me an expert who will share...
All this talk and no action! Why trust you, Okeg? Your Federation has already proven it does not respect the Empire! In the case of the Undine imposters in the Gorn hegemony, the Klingons were right all along, yet you failed to heed us.
You are right, and I know that Federation and Empire relations have often been tense, that our history is riddled with mistrust, that you believe we failed you on the topic of the infiltrators in the Gorn hegemony, and that our ways have been human-centric. But like Chancellor Gorkon, this Saurian too believes in the undiscovered country, and has read Shakespeare in the original Klingon. We'd like to start by sharing our classified research with you on the Undine as a gesture of good faith. Doctor?
Greetings. You may call me the Doctor. It is an honor to speak to such a fine audience. I will be handing out data pads after our speech, so do stick around should you wish to discuss the details. As you all undoubtedly know, with great scientific advancement comes great responsibility. While ethics are not on the agenda, I am obliged to mention the dangers of the technology we have developed and the risk it poses to non-Undine life forms.
The Belfast is transmitting the results of the analysis performed on the unidentified device. It seems it's...
But I digress. To the crux of the matter, I have created technology that pairs modified tricorders with experimental nanoprobes. The tricorders, while still a prototype, detect the presence of Undine biosignatures. The nanoprobes are then... pardon me, my matrix.
Captain Sean, that device disrupts holoemitter signals. Doctor!
We curse the Empire!
Captain! They've taken the Doctor!
Miral, look out!
Thanks. We need to take down these Gorn and retrieve the Doctor. Now!
Belfast, this is Sean. Kittimer Conference is under attack. Monitor all activity in orbit. No one leaves.
I knew I could have brought these cryo grenades along. We need to take down the last remaining Gorn.
Our warriors have identified additional rebel Gorn on the ground. It won't be long before they reach our location. As for Bavat, the Petach has conveniently beamed up to his vessel. He must have had allies on the inside. Klingons willing to look the other way and smuggle in his devices. Huicha! Or perhaps this is another conspiracy.
I assure you the Federation has nothing to do with this, Captain Cogram. I can't say the same for Bavat, though. The Belfast has managed to lock onto his ship with a tractor beam, but I'm not sure how long it'll hold. Our scans show the Doctor is aboard, so we'll need to be careful.
I'm coming with you. We need to retrieve the doctor. That's non-negotiable.
All right, but I know you well, Moral. Get back in one piece, and no unnecessary risks. That's also non-negotiable. Understood? Cogran and I will stay behind to deal with the Gorn and evacuate the delegations. Belfast, this is Captain Sean. Beam the lieutenant directly to the bridge. Paris, you've got the con. Stay safe.
This is Lieutenant Paris aboard the Belfast. We have a lock on Bavad's ship, the IKS Warvik. Recommend we hail them together before we take any drastic measures. Diplomacy first.
Nooch, you dare not fight a real Klingon, one of prowess and might? I suppose your hail is meant to initiate some sort of negotiation. Which, I do not negotiate with those who would see the Klingon Empire become docile and prevent its path towards true glory. Request denied. It would be a shame to return your doctor so soon. Extracting him from Khitomer was child's play. Fascinating what can be achieved when the Empire is so divided and unfocused. But Klingons never shy away from a challenge. Let the Kuvah'Magh retrieve him herself and prove she has the heart of a true warrior.
My heart is just fine, Bavad. I wish we could say the same for you, you Mahwi. The Klingon Empire agreed to convene on the Federation's ceasefire proposal. It is you who is in violation of the agreement, and in direct disobedience of the High Council. They should have you discommended, you pig. Bavad has escaped with the doctor. The Belfast is tracking his ship's ion trail. Time to show these what we're made of. Give it all you got. The last of them. Receiving a hail from the Khitomer. I'm opening a multi-channel.
Belfast, this is Captain Cogran. We bested the Gorn. Khitomer is secure. We also uncovered another device mounted to the Federation's podium and neutralized it. The device disrupts photonic emissions and stores holographic data as a containment capsule would. Have you stopped Bavat?
I missed a device, but we scanned the entire area. How is that possible? I increased my tricorder sensor aperture. I ran a multispectral sweep. I even enhanced subspace resolution and set up a level 3 perimeter scan. I should have set up a level 4 scan. This is my fault.
Steady, Lieutenant. The first device was no doubt a red herring planted in the room to distract us from the second, which in turn was shielded from our sensors by an experimental chronoton-charged cloaking field. That second device was ever so slightly displaced in time. Your tricorder couldn't have picked up on it. It took a whole group of scientists from several different delegations to come to that same conclusion.
Captain, we need to go after the Doctor. The Belfast is tracking Bavat's warp signature, ion trail, and projected course. I've got all the data I need.
What the Belfast needs to do is remain stationed in orbit of Kittimer while President Okeg meets with the Klingon High Council. This attack has led to some very tense exchanges and great mistrust in the Federation and Gorn delegations. Going after the Doctor is too risky. We'll need to send our data over to an experienced strike team and let them handle it.
I agree. Besides, the Doctor is not only one of the most brilliant minds in Starfleet, but he's also my godfather. He's family, Captain.
I can't argue with that. But for that same reason, I'll need you back in one piece after your mission. I can't lose you too, Lieutenant. The Belfast has to remain to supervise the situation on Kittimer and escort Starfleet 1 back to Federation space. I hope I'm not making a mistake by staying behind. But duty calls. Good luck, and take care.
It is a worthy mission to undertake. On behalf of the Klingon Empire, I authorize you to accompany Lieutenant Paris on her quest. Though I remind you that Bavat, despite all of his treachery, is still the head of what some would consider to be an honorable Klingon house. Should you best him in battle, then you will have to decide whether he deserves to die with honor. And if not, contend with the consequences upon your return. Kapla!
One to beam over. Quite the fine ship you have. Here's the data the Belfast retrieved during our encounter with the Klingons. We've tracked the Warvig to the Hattori system.
This has been a Surratt production video.